Oh yeah. Whoops. Pre-show. 7 minutes. What up, y'all? It's the R9cast. I am your host, the guy that's gonna talk for a while. Stevie D. the Braves there. I can't even say my name. I am Stephen D. Gibson, aka SG, aka Electron Bandit, aka I got a video coming out. I'm finalizing the music and I'm working on the CG parts of it, man. And it's a Halloween video, so I have limited time. I want to try to get the actual shots, the shots done before the 15th. I doubt I'm going to get them all done, but I think I'm going to at least start by the 15th. And we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to have to, this is going to have to be like a week. Get it done before Halloween, obviously. But if I start the 15th, give me 10 days. By the 25th, I think I could do that. 25th it'll come out, and then it'll be a Halloween. Yeah, that's good enough, right? 6 days of my video out there. I mean, nobody's gonna watch it, but who cares anyway? If you want to be a part of the, well, be part of the show, about a part of the conversation. There's a few places you can go. You can go to the Discord. Which is, what is the Discord? That's a good question. I don't have a shortcut. I need to make one of those. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to boop, and I'm gonna put it in Facebook chat. Paste. There's a way you can change that, right? Whatever, who cares? Yeah, discord.gg/9dg. So it's crazy numbers. I'll put it here too. Who cares? Come get me. Come and get me. I mean, come and I'm never there. But I have it open now, so you can look at it and be like, blam, and I'm like, oh. Or you can go to twitch.tv/R9cast. That's where I'd be at too. Or you can go to my Facebook. If you're my friend on Facebook, you know what my Facebook name is, and you can go there. And you see I'm screaming there too. And the title is wrong, of course. That's last week's title. But you know what you gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. Oops, something just closed. Everything crashed. Everything crashed. Where's my That's not a good sign when everything crashes. It's not a good sign when everything crashes. All right, let me go to my Restreamo. And update titles. I already did this, but whatever. Yeah, it's there. Update all. I'll do it again. I'll just copy and paste because I'm lazy. Copy. Paste. Update all. There you go. Kaboom. All right, cool. So, I mean, I just ran across this story like 2 seconds before starting the show. So, what are we going to do? Video games happen. Life happen. I'm so tired right now that, you know, sometimes you know when you're so tired that you're not tired no more. That's what basically, because what I did today was I pressure cleaned a lot of stuff. Only thing I didn't do was the driveway because I'm like, yeah, right. I did the front of the driveway, but I did the front porch, the front, the walkway. I did the sidewalk on the side, the walkway on the side walkway. I did the back patios. Got mad patios, son. I did the outdoor shower enclosure. Everything's all nice now. And yeah. It's surprising. It's surprising when you clean stuff. I mean, I like stuff clean, yeah, sure. But I have a tolerance for dirt at the same time. So I'm like, oh man, it's dirty. Oh well. I'm not gonna be like, you know, I'm not that OCD. I can tolerate dirt, but I like it when it's clean. So when you clean stuff, it's like, wow, that's clean. You feel better. Everything's better. It's like, and everything's so bright. It's like I come outside, I'm like, wow, it's like, shit, wow, it's an all right place right here. We live here, here. Them dandelions, though. What's up, legend? Aloha. Hopefully everything's good with you. Over there, down there, over there, in the island state of Hawaii. Yeah. So yeah, cleaning is good, and you know it makes Bridget happy because she likes clean. She's a clean freak. What's up, Sean? How you doing, man? Oh, Snap Sean's in the house. DJ Sean Friedman's in the house. Yo, you got a party. You got a bar mitzvah. You got a bat mitzvah. Call up DJ Sean Free. DJ Freeman. And he'll Freeman them beats up. Boom. And you be like, oh, snap. At your bat mitzvah or your corporate party. If you need a DJ or some aluminum. Anyway, I can't even finish that one. So, yeah, it's October 11th. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why the Daily Show theme just jumped into my brain, but it's October 11th, and consoles are on their way. Less than 30 days. Less than 30 days. 30 days. Less than 30. No. Yeah, exactly 30 days, right? And the 31st. 20 days is 31st plus 1. Carry the 2. Yeah. November 10th, my birthday. I was going to put out a tweet to Microsoft like, yo, Microsoft, my birthday's in a month. Y'all decide to release beautiful, thank you. Just give me the empty shell. I don't even want the real console. Just give me an extra empty shell so I can just look at it. That's all. I'm not greedy. And I know they're not listening because nobody listens. I mean, Sean's there for 2 seconds. He dipped in, dipped out. Legend is here. Preach. Kaijudo might be here. Preach. Bonds dips in sometimes. He's like, yeah, I'm eating delicious gourmet food with my girlfriend. We're going to watch a movie. That's basically, that's what happens here. But yeah, so, you know, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft. What else? What is there? You know, besides the apocalypse, what do we talk about? I mean, I'm like, I'm dumbfounded by the actual important things, the important things of the world that is happening, and I'm like, should I just talk about that for 2 hours? No, because it would make me angrier than I am already. You know, it's like, why are people stupid? I mean, I know why I'm stupid. That's no excuse for everybody else, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm stupid, right? You know how you like, okay, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, but damn, that dude or that girl or that lady, you know when people are stupider than you and you know you stupid, there's like, what? Okay, I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing something wrong in this in this society. How our reality exists right now, I'm doing something wrong because this dumb fool's here and I'm here. And I'm like, well, you know, I know why I'm here. But whatever. That's why I don't talk about that stuff. That's why I talk about video games. That's why I talk about, like, yay, Sega's dope. Or Nintendo. Yeah. Did you hear? A quick tangent, which is news. Mini Dreamcast? Hello? Possibility? I mean, they said mini Dreamcast or mini SG-1000. I was like, okay, you could take that SG-1000 and put that in the garbage right now because nobody wants that. Come on, son. That's worse than the damn Sega Master System. Come on, son. And look, I'm a former graphics whore. Hello, my name's Steven. I'm a graphics whore. I used to be a graphics whore, but I say I'm not anymore. Not true. Once a graphics whore, always a graphics whore. But I can see the deception in the graphics horologies. How people will make a game all pretty. Oh, look at them graphics. Meanwhile, the game kind of sucks. If you break it down like, yo, how you like playing it? Oh, it's kind of sucky. I always be dying. It's mad hard, or yeah, it's kind of whack. You don't never play. It's just a whole bunch of cutscenes, but it's pretty though. That's a whack ass game. We talking about gameplay. I got fooled for a minute, and then one game smacked me up, woke me up, and I was like, all right. Graphics ain't everything. Thank you for the lesson, Mercedes Grand Tour, whatever the hell that damn stupid game. Oh, I still got the game though. I see. That's the thing. I learned my lesson with that game, and I kept that game because I'm like, nope, not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe no more. I'm gonna keep you. I'm not trading you in so I can forget about you. Nope. Life lesson. Because you says they stupid and ignorant. That's worse. Being stupid can be fixed. Yeah. You're right. But I was just saying stupid as far as just a generalization. You want to be semantical about it. Semantical. I'm just saying, you're right though. Ignorance is bliss sometimes. I mean, I try to live that way because reality is crazy. So if I want to stress out and have a heart attack, sure, I'll think about it 24/7. But I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. That's why people go on vacation. That's why people read books. That's why we play games. Now, I want to talk about narratives right now because the narratives are shifting and changing and moving like crazy. The main reason why the narratives are moving and shifting like crazy, I'm talking about Sony versus Microsoft, Xbox versus PS5, Xbox Series X versus PS5. The main reason why the narratives are shifting and changing and moving and shaking is because PlayStation lost the advantage. Most of the advantages. Now, people say, oh, but the exclusives on Sony is on the PlayStation 5 going to be better. I mean, potentially, sure. But until those games come out and prove that they are the best games, you can't really say that. I mean, you can say, yeah, the first games was dope, but you can't. Is it a guarantee that the sequels or the follow-ups to these games are going to be as good, if not better than the previous games? Like, for instance, God of War. The first one was groundbreaking because it was new and different. They changed it for the better, I would say. Now that we know what they're going to do, it's not going to have that much of an impact. So the game has to be exponentially better in order to get over that, oh, we already know how the game's going to feel and flow and stuff, and, animate and stuff, which was like the cool thing about the first game, right? So we know all that, right? So now story and all that stuff has to be, let's go up. I think it will be because, honestly, that Cory Barlog said that he actually wrote God of War 2 before he wrote God of War 1. So he had God of War 2 done already before working, and then they were like, uh-oh, this is a sequel, and then he wrote God of War 1. So that's why he's not directing it, because it was written already. They could have been working on it simultaneously if, honestly. That's probably what happened because it's coming out like next year, supposedly. So we'll see. Legend says guarantee. There is no guarantee. There's no guarantee, especially when it comes to Sony. Sony be lying. I don't even believe that whole 99% of the 4,000 plus games. Come on, son. Oh, only 10 games. Really? Only 10 games out of 4,000 games. You tell me only 10 games? 10 games. Really? Okay. I'm a guarantee that there's going to be more than 10 games that don't work on a PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 games. I will guarantee that. They full of shite, man. Man, come on, son. But here's the thing. The fact that those games, okay, let's take their word. Let's say that Sony just stopped lying for a second and said, let's tell the truth for this time. And let's say 99% of the 4,000 games, so 3,996 games work. PlayStation 4 games to PlayStation 5, backwards compatible, right? I totally forgot what my point was. Let's say that works. Wow. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Gosh darn it. But I can't find it. Well, anyway. This is what happens when you have Dane Bramage. I knew a guy named Dane Bramage. That was not his real name, obviously. Anyway, so if the backwards compatibility works, let me try to find it. The backwards compatibility, PlayStation 4, if that works as they say. Well, one, what's the point of buying a PlayStation 5? People say, oh, for the more power. Okay, sure. The whole thing about them where they believe in generations, kind of a lie. Okay, let's go back. Was 100% guaranteed a lie. Guarantee that was a lie because it's just lie. The fact that they announced the whole backwards compatible, like all these games, Miles Morales and stuff, they announced it in a blog post after their thing. I was like, yo, come on. So really? Are y'all just going to sit here and let them just, Vaseline y'all up? Is that what's happening? And then the whole thing with the Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I mean, it's like, yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's going to be on PlayStation 4. I was like, oh, oops. And we went through this last week, the Miles Morales debacle. Oh, if you want to buy this version. But I didn't even read the thing where because they said like Spider-Man like 59 million times in one paragraph. I'm like, okay, y'all are, okay, it's confusing. Okay, this is the confusion station because there's mad questions. I know y'all got questions. It's like, okay, first, I'm gonna tell you the first question that most people have regarding PlayStation 5. What SSD can I buy to expand my storage? First question. What's the answer? There is no answer. They don't have an official list yet. They don't have any. There's like, oh, this one might work. Maybe. We're waiting for Sony to say yay. I'm like, yo. Day one, I could spend $220 and get 1 terabyte. If I wanted to be baller like that. Not going to do that, though. Because no. And no. Legend says, how come I never hear you talking about Xbox exclusives? Oh, you want to talk about the Xbox exclusives? Okay. So the medium, well, I think the median is actually a timed exclusive. So I don't think I can talk about that. Can I? Well, let's talk about that. I think it's launching. It's a day one exclusive. It's launching day one. It's launching November 10th on the launch of the actual system. Console. Bloober Team is dope. So Bloober Team made Layers of Fear and what else did they make? They made a lot of good games. I think they did Blair Witch. See, it's Bloober Team, and then there's the other team that made a Plague Tale. Wait, did they do a Plague Tale? By the way, and a Plague Tale, those guys are doing the Asobo. Yes, that's them. Adobo, the Adobo Studio. They're doing the flight simulator stuff. So I think Microsoft needs to buy Asobo, and Bloober Team is good. They should buy both of them because they got money. Kaju says, I hope they don't pull a Vita and make you buy a special one that's made by Sony. No, they're doing I mean, they might make one, but no, they have a standard SSD slot on their console. I saw the teardown. I was like, I mean, I was gonna go through it with you guys, but you guys have probably seen it 1,000 million times, so you don't need to see it again. I can say, I'll get to the games. Legend says, none of those AAA games, what did they make that was guaranteed 100% of AAA? Well, I would say Flight Simulator is a AAA game. It's the best. It is, well, right now it's the most popular flight simulator. Well, I can't even say that. God dog it. As far as a new game that was released, and it got 10, and IGN gave it a 10. I was like, really? Flight Simulator got a 10? Okay. And I'm looking at the screenshots, and I'm like, damn. I've never wanted to fly. I've never wanted to play Flight Simulator. I tried it out way back in the day when it was just hot garbage. Like, oh gosh, I can't play. It's just lines and jaggies and two colors. I'm like, I'm looking at Flight Simulator now. I'm like, what is this? Is like if Flight Simulator comes out at the perfect time. Not the whole world is in lockdown anymore. I live in Florida. Freaking DeSantis just opened up Florida. It's like, yeah, whatever. We don't have no viruses down here. It's like, just open everything up. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So, way too random and all over. I know. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get it all. I haven't seen it. I haven't been following any of those fly press cons by Sony and Nintendo Microsoft. Did you see flights in later? Come on, man. Huh? I like Flight X. I have it's still on my Flight. That was the only one. The other one I was gonna say Flight X was probably the closest thing to Flight Simulator, but they came up real quick. But anyway, I should pull up a list of exclusives because honestly, my brain never works. So we'll look. X Series. X exclusives. We'll say exclusives. Not launch titles. I guess. What is this? I don't even know this website. Oh, should we go to Eurogamer? Euroblamers? Actually, there's a good handful of games that I am super interested in. Like on the Sony side, I'm like, all right, God of War is gonna be lit. We can't lie. We can't cap on that. Horizon Forbidden West gonna be lit. Can't cap on that. But everything that I know of that is gonna be lit on a PlayStation 5, you could play on PlayStation 4. So it's like, yo, what the? Okay. Legend said, did you say Flight Simulator? Come on, man. Let me blow your mind on this one. The new Xbox consoles can't play Flight Simulator. They don't have the storage. That's not true. Flight Simulator is 129 gigs. Big, yes. But it's possible. And actually it would probably play better on the X because of the faster SSD than standard, load times and all that stuff. The only thing is the streaming. You're streaming a lot of data from the it's not OSM. It's because I've been messing with that in Blender, where you take the map data and you can extrude the buildings and stuff. It's pretty cool. Anyway, let's see. So here we have following games list PC as supported, but only say Xbox Series X in terms of console. So that's why I want to just, I can say all these games, but honestly, we're looking at next gen only stuff, and that's the problem. That's one of the problems with what Sony's doing, is that their messaging is messed up. Like, remember 2013, Microsoft messaging was messed up, but Sony's messaging has been messed up on, I think, more and on different levels. The saving grace on Sony's side for PlayStation is that they have so many fans, and they're like the leader, and they're the winner. They're construed as the winner. Misconstrued? Construed. Did I use that right? Anyway, they're seen as the winner, so they're given the benefit of the doubt until they screw up real bad, which I think they have a couple times, but people are, that's fine. It's the whole thing. Microsoft bought, Bethesda, and, everybody's like, oh, man, you got to make those games multiplayer. They got to come to the PlayStation 5, too. I'm like, well, huh? That's first party. What are you talking about? When's God of War 2 coming to the Xbox? And shut the hell up. Come on, son. You want to puff up your chest and be like, yeah, we got the exclusives. Don't be mad when Microsoft go buy all these other exclusives. Don't be crying no salty pony tears. I don't want to hear that, because you the one, like, I've heard this. You poked the walrus. I don't know. I don't like bears, so my animal is a walrus. You poked the hippopotamus. I think they're the most deadly creature on the planet. I've heard it. Somebody said that. Anyway, So the messaging on Sony's side has been messed up. We can admit that. We can say, yes, it has been messed up. Now, what I've heard a lot of fanboys say, ponies, or even guys who are fans but they act like ponies, but it's really just a joke, which is kind of the guys I listen to. I don't listen to actual people who get their feelings hurt and stuff like that, because it's like, what's wrong with you? It's just games, yo. It's not that serious, I. But you know, they will admit that the messaging is messed up, but what they do is they go, boom, it's about the games. Bottom line, it's about the games. And you know what? That sentiment I feel is correct. It is about the games. Also, if your system's real strong and stuff, that helps. It helps if you have the most powerful system. I'm just saying, you know, that's how Sony jumped in front last gen, or this gen, 2013. They had the most powerful system, and their games was coming. And the same thing is happening, except on the Xbox side. Now, what the ponies are trying to do is like, yo, where the launch exclusives? Where the launch titles? Y'all ain't got no games. I'm like, all right. Remember 2013? Sony, they had like 2 games. They have nothing. I mean, like, what, Knack and Killzone? Whatever. All right. We'll see. It didn't jump off of Sony until like 2016, 2017. So it took years. It took 3-4 years. Same thing's going to happen this generation, except on the Xbox side. Sony's jumping out ahead and releasing these cross-gen titles, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, but for both systems. So it won't take advantage of the PlayStation 5. And then you have to wait another, 5 years for another Horizon or another God of War? Come on, son. What are they doing? They're like, it's like a domino effect. It's like, oh, okay. And then by then, it's like, wait. They're going to come out with the PlayStation 5 Pro or whatever. That's going to be better, right? But then the games that they're going to make is they have to play for the PlayStation 4. I mean, I would say 4, 5, and Pro. So they're going to be super cross. I don't see a clear way out of the situation that Sony has put themselves in because of how they constructed their system and how they're relying on the PlayStation 4 fan base to carry them through into PlayStation 5. It's smart, but they haven't been upfront about it, and that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Regardless if I'm a fan or not, I'm like, anybody's talking. If anybody's bullshit in my face, I'm like, yo, it smells in here. Get out of my face. I don't want. If I wanted to hear some bullshit, I'm gonna go look for the specific bullshit that I want to listen to, but not yours. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Legend says, yeah, you can play all those games on PS4, but not well. I wouldn't even recommend playing current AAA titles on your PS4. It barely plays them. Come on, man. Don't be dissing PlayStation 4. Come on, man. Sony comes out with AAA titles every year, and they have for every year. Yeah, but they're not all bangers. I mean, Days Gone was like, meh. Days Gone was kind of whack. Last of Us 2 is specific and special because Last of Us 2 is like, you see the craftsmanship. You see that it's a well-crafted, like, yo, this studio can make a banger. Too bad the story's hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, that's subjective, whatever, but still, Ghost of Tsushima, I would say is pretty good. I don't know if say it's a banger. I think y'all are thirsty. I think you're a little thirsty. You know, anything Sony put. Come on, son. Remember Death Stranding. And people are like, yo, Kojima. And then they play Death Stranding. And they're like, what the hell is this game? And it's like, oh, yeah, Norman Reedus looks like Norman Reedus. Like I said, them graphics look dope. It's like, yo, this game looks, oh, look at what's her name. She looks so good with the, yeah. Looks so good. Look at the environment. Look at the graphics. Well, what's the game? That gameplay in Death Stranding, I'm going to say it's hot garbage. I'm sorry. When most people are like, yo, Call of Duty or Madden or FIFA, right? And then you got the other players who are like, yo, Sea of Thieves or Rocket League. Or I'm on Grounded. Grounded is my new, I was going to say my new Minecraft, but I was never into Minecraft like I am Grounded. Grounded grounded. Y'all see. Y'all wait. I'm telling you, there's some secrets in that game. I'm like, yo, this ain't. I said this before. This ain't for kids. It looks like a kiddie game, but there's skeletons and stuff in that yard. It's like, hey, that's not a bug skeleton, because bugs don't have skeletons. But yeah, it's weird. But I will agree with you, Legend, that Sony puts out bangers every year for the most part, but they're not 10 out of 10 bangers, let's just say that. Even though the critics may give it a high score, you look at the fans and you're like, oh, why is this such a large gulf in the score numbers? Like when the critics give it a high score and the fans give it a high score, it's a good game. You ain't got to even read nothing. Be like, oh, shoot, that's good. People like it. Everybody likes it. Yeah. But when it's like, yo, it's a good game, and everybody else who's playing it, who for real, like, nah, really? And I know there's people who be bombing the scores and stuff, but still, if it was dope, if it was nice, then the few people who would automatically review bomb a score, it won't matter, because overwhelmingly it'll go up there. But honestly, I'm gonna say that as far as Metacritic go, they shouldn't allow zeros, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, come on, son, 0, really? I mean, if the game works, then you can at least give it a 1. You know what I mean? Because, like, if you start it and it don't work, and be like, yeah, 0, it didn't work, so it gets no score. That makes sense. But if you play it and graphics come on and music and sound effects and stuff, and you press the button and it starts, shoot, that gets a 1. That should be an automatic 1 right there. Anyway, we're not going on a Metacritic rant. The games. Excuse me. Legend says, what Xbox game can hang with God of War? I would say Hellblade 2. Even though I'm not too sure what Hellblade 2 is. I think they'll probably put a little more action-y fighting stuff. But I would say they're similar in flavor. But yes, God of War is a super huge game here. Hellblade 2 was made by like 12 people. It's a super indie game. And the fact that they are comparable in a way makes God of War 2 God of War look kind of bad, because it's like, yeah, 12 people made this game. How many people made God of War? All right, then. So you don't need 400 people making a game when you got 12 people made something that's like, oh, snap, that's kind of like God of War. If they would have had a little bit more time and maybe 10 more people, it would have been better God of War, God. Legend says, tell Hellblade to ain't even out, and it won't be out for years. Hellblade. Hellblade 2. But God of War's not out. God of War 2's not out either. Although they said 2021, so. But Ninja Theory, man, they've always made good games. I'm not gonna say all the games were super dope bangers. But, they made Heavenly Sword. They made the Journey to the West with, what's his name? And then Hellblade and Hellblade 2. God of War 1, the remake. You know what? Legend? I think, they should make God of War, the first one, a remake in that new engine. They should do that. That'd be dope. Although, could they? Yeah, they could do. You know what? I don't. It would cost too much money. It would cost too much money because they have to. I mean, they have the story and everything, and they have all of the scenarios. But yeah, in the new engine, they would have to build all the models over. They have to build. I mean, they have to build all the models over anyway because it's an old game. And I mean, that'd be interesting. I think that would be interesting if they were smart. If Sony was smart. I mean, Sony wants money. Sony likes money. So why wouldn't they do that? I don't know. Anyway, let's see what we see. All right, so this is developertech.com. All right, we'll go to another site. I'll probably go to Xbox's site and see what they got there. State of Decay 3. Let's start with there. Start with the first one. State of Decay 3. Oh, sorry. Legend says, no, I'm saying the God of War that they just made and came out with is better than anything Xbox put out in the last 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah. That God of War that just came out, was it 2018? That's the best game Sony ever made, period. That's the best game they've ever made. It's 2020 right now. That God of War is still the best game they've ever made. I was saying this when that came out. I was like, that's it. That's it. Y'all, Sony just made the best game that they have ever made. So now they have to make a better game than this. I don't see how they can do that. Like I said, that new smell, that new game flavor, that new game smell is ward off. So the second game coming out, God of War 2, God of War Ragnarok, I mean, it's not going to have that smack impact that the first one did, because we already know the tricks. We know the one-shot camera trick. We know that. So you can't fool it. You can't be like, "Oh, how you going to make it better than that?" Are you going to do another one shot camera thing? Camera trick. One shot, you know what I mean. I mean, that'd be cool. They did that in the Halo trailers. I think there was one cut in the trailer, and then in the Halo Infinite demo, which was whatever. That was a one shot too. If you pay attention, like when they're crashing and they did that whole scene until he goes out, it's all one shot. It's all one shot, no cuts. So from the cinematic to the crash to the gameplay, it's all one cut, one uninterrupted cut. So I'm like, okay, they learned some cool stuff, but make the graphics better. Come on, son. What are you doing? Legend says, what if they come out with God of War 4K before September? 4K? Before September? Wait, I thought... Oh, yeah, that's right. PlayStation 4 Pro is not 4K. Thank you for putting that point to a point of pointness. I don't know. That would be okay. I mean, they're gonna do that for all of those bangers on the PlayStation 4. They're gonna give you versions, but they're gonna make you pay for them, just like Spider-Man. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be. No, you know what's gonna happen, Legend? This is what's gonna be. God of War Ragnarok is gonna come out, and they're gonna be like, yeah, you could buy the $100 version and get God of War remastered or upscaled. Definitive edition, whatever. They're gonna upscale. They're gonna upcharge you. So no, it's not gonna be $100. It'll be $70 for God of War Ragnarok plus 20. Oh, 90. So 90, $89.99 for the God of War bundle. I'm telling you, man, Sony is approaching this gen in many wrong directions. Money wise, like talking about consumer friendly money. No, not the one right. Kaijiro says the best game coming out this week just might be Space Crew. I think it's only on Steam right now. You heard it first. Space Crew. I gotta check into that. Back to the list. State of Decay 3. I like the trailer. I don't like the game. I played State of Decay 2. I was like, I don't like zombie games. The only game close to a zombie game was Sunset Overdrive. That's the only game that I liked that was kind of like a zombie game, but I was like, no, I'm not feeling it. Forza Motorsport. Wait, they take it. Are they actually taking a number off of that game? Wait a second. That's true. I don't think they did put a number on that, right? So here's the thing. If Forza goes the way of, I don't want to say Minecraft, but, just a game that is constantly updated, that might be the move right there. Because that way they're like, we're not going to make another game in 2 years. This is the game. We're going to update it. We're going to throw in cars. We're going to add this, add that, boom, boom. They had to do a whole new engine because of ray tracing. They couldn't figure it out on their, I guess, old engine. They implemented it, and it broke like everything. And that's why they skipped a year. That's why they're doing it this way. That's why it's not coming out launch title. because they couldn't deal with the old engine, so they like either build a new engine or fix their engine for ray tracing to work right. Legend says State of Decay is one of the few Xbox games that I'm actually interested in. Like I said, 3 might change my mind. Like Forza Motorsports 3 was the pinnacle point in that series that changed my mind on it, because I played Forza 1. I think I had Forza 1 and Forza 2, and I was like, I don't like this. It was like very simmy, very it's like bare. It's hard to. It didn't feel right. And then 3 came out, and I'm like, oh, I played a demo. I was like, oh, this feels all right. This kind of, oh, okay. And then I think I played a demo of 4, and they had, I think it was Netsky. I had a track on there. And it just happened that his track came up when I played the demo the first time, and it destroyed my brain. I was like, oh, this is the best game ever. Even though it was still Forza, but the music just took it over the edge. I was like, all right, you know what? All right. And then Forza Horizon came out. I was like, oh, forget it. And even though Forza Horizon came out, I was like, oh, this is cool, but I wish you could go out in the grass and off the streets. Forza Horizon 2 comes out, you could go out for the grass. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're reading my brain. And then the third one comes out, they're in Australia, and it's a kangaroo, mate. And I was like, oh my gosh, and alligators. It's great. It's a crocodile, actually. I don't believe they have alligators in Australia. Kaiju says, I don't like zombie shit either, except Left 4 Dead and first 3 Res Evils. Yeah. You see okay, we're not gonna talk about that. Sorry. So Forza Motorsport, I'm interested in it. I mean, all these games are gonna be Game Pass, so I have the beauty of Game Pass, the beauty of Xbox, the beauty of this gen is that Sony doesn't have a Game Pass equivalent. They have a service that should be Game Pass equivalent, but they refuse to make it that way. And they are hurting for it. They're making it harder for ponies to argue the fact that Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. Because they're sitting there with the technology. They're literally sitting there with, and it came out before Game Pass. And they did adopt some things, but no, they won't go all the way. So it's like, I mean, yes, all these companies are to make money, for profit, right? But Sony is like so much on the side of just kind of do anything to make the money, regardless of how it makes them look. It feels weird. It just feels, it makes me feel just icky when I think about it. I'm just like, really? I mean, because the fact that I'm not a fan, I'm not invested in their ecosystem, so I don't feel bad when Mark Cerny or Jim Ryan for more of a point lies straight to our faces. And I'm saying that on the outside. If I was a fan and I had all these PlayStation consoles and I'm like, yeah, PlayStation, I already pre-ordered, and they straight up lying. It's like, yeah, you can play those on PlayStation 4. Like, what? I didn't have to spend $500 on PlayStation 5 to play Miles Morales. I would feel bad. I would feel angry, and I would probably cancel my pre-order. Honestly, I would be like, nah, I'm going to save my money for the tax man to come around. Tax season, or, I don't know, birthday, or somebody give me a present, because I'm not buying this crap. You lying to me. Anyway, moving on. So, Forza Motorsport, it's all right. Legend says, you never take to account the PlayStation Plus the $6 a year, and they got that every year from every owner. Oh, yeah, no, I know. I mean, I don't know if they're paying $60 here. It's on sale a lot. I've seen $35-$40 for those PSN jammies. I mean, PlayStation Plus jammies. But yeah, no, you're right. It's the same. Like, Game Pass is killing it because Xbox Live Gold still exists, but they Trojan horsed it into Game Pass, so it just made it a no-brainer. I was like, wait, okay, so if so Live Gold was like $5 or $6 a month, and then Game Pass was like 10, right, for just Xbox. And like, add those together, you get Ultimate. I'm like, I'm gonna just do that then. Plus, you get xCloud streaming. So I was like, it was a no. They made it impossible for me to try to logic my way out of getting Game Pass Ultimate, because I'm like, okay, I'm paying for that. I want to get Game Pass because I got a taste of it, and I was like, I had to go back to the dealer and get my fix. And it's just like, and I paid $1, to upgrade my gold stuff. Did you get your Xbox Game Service for a discount as well? Didn't you get it? Yes. I mean, yes, I guess, yeah, it's a discount. So I did the $1 changeover. So I'm not paying anything until 2022. So we'll see how that works out. So Forza Motorsport, that'll be cool to look at, but we'll see. We'll see. I want to see how that game actually changes, because it's interesting that they actually made a great game. And remember, Turn 10 is they didn't buy Turn 10. That's a studio that Microsoft made from the ground up. They got all the people, and they made that studio to make a racing game to compete with Gran Turismo. And they've done it, and they have beaten Gran Turismo. Now the ponies come out, what? Gran Turismo has sold more. All you talk about is sales and sales and sales. But guess what? I mean, yes, when you get to a certain point, oh yeah, Minecraft is the most successful game on the planet. It's sold over 200 million or something. This is a crazy number. I'm like, what? That's not whatever. But it's supposedly. It's like, okay. Grand Theft Auto 5, 150 million. I'm like, that's a lot. So if everybody's getting Game Pass through the discount service, how are they making money? Oh, not everybody is, so. Some people are, some people aren't. And they got $121 from me, whenever it was last year. So it's not like that's no money. That's 2 years of gold. And I'm like one of the early people to make their numbers bigger. So it's kind of like a give and take. I'm like, all right, you give me a discount, I'll be your guinea pigs for a little bit. But it's a good service, so it's like it doesn't feel like I'm, being taken advantage of. And that's where, when I'm looking at what Sony's doing, I'm like, it looks like they're taking advantage of y'all, because y'all are fans, and they're like, yeah, they're gonna be there for us because we're Sony, we're PlayStation, they love us, so they're doing all kind of bullshit. And I'm like, yo, why are y'all taking this from Sony? That's why I don't get it. If Microsoft pulled all the shit that Sony's pulling right now, come on, son, man. Legend says they're rolling the dice on people not canceling. If they crap out, they lose big. Yeah, but the growth is just, it's not gonna happen. Guarantee 100%. They have grown 50% in 5 months. So they were at 10 million in like February. And I think last month they said they're at 15 million subs on Game Pass. And I was like, what? That's a lot. I was like, maybe they'll be like at 12 million by the time the Series X comes out. No, they're already at 15. I'm like, are they going to be at, well, not, I was going to say, are they going to be at 20 million? Like, no, they won't be at 20 million by the time the Series X comes out. But when the Series X comes out, there's going to be a spike in subs, because I will guarantee that they're going to give away some, here's 2 weeks of Game Pass, blah, blah, blah. That's how they got me. I was like 2 weeks, I started playing some stuff. I was like, this is kind of dope. You just go in there, bleep, bloop, download some stuff, bloop, bleep, bloop. And then when it went away, it felt like something was ripped out of my head. I'm like, yo, what? Oh, this is like, ugh. It's like if you're a PC gamer and you got Steam and you log into Steam, you got all your games like blam, blam, blam. Look at all these. I got 500 games in my Steam account. And imagine that's just gone. And you go in to log in. You're like, nope, sorry, you ain't got Steam no more. And you're like, damn. Well, let me see what I got. I mean, you feel kind of empty when all your games are just gone like that. You know what I mean? Legend says giving away subs is inflating your numbers. It's not an actual account of how much money you will be making. Yes and yes, but the multi-pronged approach that Microsoft has taken versus Sony, I mean, if you think about it, like, okay, they have Game Pass, which is the big thing, right? And then they have hardware sales. You can buy a console. And then they have xCloud, which is tied to Game Pass. But still, it's like, oh, I don't need to buy a console. I could just get Game Pass. It's really about the sub. So it's like, hey, Bonds, how you doing? Wish you well. Thanks for showing up, Preach. Legend says it's not a multi-prong. It's a drug deal that they give you the good stuff and then they threaten to take it away if you don't pay the big money. That's it's the same with the PlayStation Plus. You don't pay PlayStation Plus, guess what happened? You can't play your game, son. You can't play Call of Duty. Alright? So don't try to pull that. Don't try to pull that. Don't try to pull no pony tactics over here. But it is multi-pronged because like what Sony's doing, they're like, okay, we're gonna sell a console, and then we're gonna get a whole bunch of people to buy the console, and then they're gonna buy the games because they have the console. That's their approach, the one approach. They don't have no other plan. They don't. Maybe they'll put it on PC. Maybe one day. That's a plan. Okay, sure. Like 2 years later, you might get a game. That's all right. That's extra money that they'll make down the road. But right now, what they doing? PlayStation 5, buy the games. That's it. Meanwhile, Xbox is, hey, you buy a console, or you could buy Game Pass and play on your phone, or you could play. Can you play on the PC? I don't think you can play on PC yet, but they're working on the iOS version, so it'll be a browser based. So you could probably play on PC once they get that browser base going. Legend says you can play Call of Duty without PlayStation Plus. Okay. So what's the point of PlayStation Plus if you know, that's what I'm saying. The tactic is the same across companies. Give you a taste and ask for dollars for more. Ask for dollars for more. Yes, ask money for. Yes, but sometimes you're like, I said this before, when you're a consumer and you're looking at stuff to buy and you come across a good deal, you feel good. You don't have buyer's remorse. You feel good. You're like, yo, I bought this, blah, blah, blah. And then, what's up, Sean? He said, and then when you feel good about your purchases, you feel good about the people who are selling you the thing, whether it's Microsoft or Sony, right? But when you have buyer's remorse, you don't feel good. You're like, oh, man, I wasted my money. Or man, I mean, the best thing is to feel good, regardless, right? Whatever you're doing, eating a piece of pie, you feel good. Watching a show, you're feeling good. The movie, feeling good. Sitting out, you smell the jasmine in the air and a brisk morning jasmine. Like, oh man, jasmine, feel good. You buy a console, you feel good. You buy a service, you feel good. You buy Miles Morales, or you pre-order a PlayStation 5 with Miles Morales, and you feel bad because you were lied to and you didn't have to buy it. You were tricked. You were told that you needed a PlayStation 5 to buy. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna reverse that because that was not true what I just said. They didn't say you need a PlayStation 5 to play Miles Morales. They implied that it would be next gen, but they left out the information that it would be a PlayStation 4 as well, which would definitely affect their sales because like a lot of people don't have money right now. You know what I'm saying? Pandemic, people jobs lost. So it's like, yo, if I don't have to buy a PlayStation 5 right now, I could wait, for 6 months or something. And I'm gonna do that. I could play all these games later, and maybe I'll get it later. It's crazy, right? But Sony don't care. Sony's like, yeah, let's just lie to them, and then we'll put it out on secret. we'll put it out, and they're not gonna read that. They just go watch the YouTube. They're not gonna read that, and they read it, and everybody's mad. Bond says 15 months 0 interest credit card offer 101. Legend says you get the Miles Morales on PlayStation 5 to get the better graphics and the faster load times, and that's what they're offering with the new system. So they don't have the money. Yeah. Says Bonds. Yes, but the promise for the PlayStation 5 was next gen. And if you're just improving the graphics and faster load times, that's not taking full advantage of the PlayStation 5. And that's the whole point of what they were promising. Next gen, next gen. And all the ponies were like, oh, y'all get all these cross-platform games. That's not next gen. That's not next gen. We talk about next gen only. And that's what the ponies were saying. And then Sony, Jim Ryan, lied to everybody and be like, yeah. And by the way, it's on PlayStation 4. It's like, what? So that whole next gen argument totally destroyed by your boy, Jim Ryan. And I'm like, y'all, that's your boy. I mean, that's who you want to. All right. It's okay. That's your boy. You want to just be in his team. He's going to lie to you. You know, Stockholm syndrome. got y'all. Anyway. Legend says next gen ain't out yet. Next gen is next year. What is Xbox offering you in the interim? Nothing but games on Game Pass. Well, that's the thing. The whole kind of idea that Game Pass diminishes the actual either type or value of a game is wrong. And that's where Jim Ryan is wrong. That's where the whole Sony approach is wrong, because they say, oh, our games are too valuable to put out there like that day and date. And I'm like, that sounds conceited. That you sound like Trump right now. That's not the point. That's not the point. The reason why Game Pass is so good is because all the first party games, regardless of what type of game it is, it's going to be on Game Pass day and date, right? So think about this. The next Elder Scrolls, Game Pass day and date. Is that a little indie game? No. It's Elder Scrolls, son. Elder Scrolls 6. 6, right? The new Elder Scrolls. You know what I'm saying? Boom. I'm like, oh, I'm going to play that. All the Bethesda games, all the Wolfenstein, all them games playing. Because I got Game Pass. And you know what? Me playing that game through Game Pass doesn't make it less of a game. Still AAA. They still getting my money. I don't see who loses in this situation, except for the people who think it's a bad idea or a bad deal, but it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal for Microsoft because they want the numbers, the sub numbers. It's not a bad deal for me because if I add up all the money that I saved so far in Game Pass, it's way past the $121 I spent primarily. It's just ridiculous. So it's like, yo, come on, son. Legend says, those first-party games you're talking about are not AAA. What? What are you talking about? Legend says, if you have to wait 3 years to get the next Elder Scrolls game on Game Pass, and you have to pay 3 years of Game Pass, how is that a bargain? It's a bargain if you pay. Okay, so say if I pay full price of Game Pass, which is $180 a year, right? What is that, 3 games a year? That's 3 $60 games. Microsoft hasn't said whether they're going $70. Even if they go, it doesn't matter. I would have to play 3 AAA games a year in order for Game Pass to pay for itself. Right? I've been doing that. I played Gears. I bought Sea of Thieves, so that doesn't count. I played Gears. I played like 3 of Forza Horizon 4. That's right. Gears, Forza Horizon 4, and other stuff. But those 2 games right there paid for my entry into Game Pass Ultimate, right? And so with all the new studios that they have, they're going to have more frequent AAA games, plus double B games, double A, whatever. So all that combined is going to save me money. So if there's a game like Hellblade, maybe Hellblade isn't $60, or Hellblade 2. Oh yeah, I played Hellblade 2. Maybe Hellblade is going to be only $40. It might be $60, whatever. But say if it's $40, still that adds up to the $180, right? So that's the whole thing. It's like, it's not just, oh, you only count AAA games as far as how much Game Pass costs. No, it's all the games you play. So if it's a $20 game in there, a $40 game, 60, 60, 10, 5, add all that up. You know what I mean? Add all that up and then say, oh, if I would have bought all these games versus Game Pass, how much would it have been? And I guarantee you that I'm playing more games than I've ever played because I have Game Pass. And I wouldn't have bought all these goofy little games, you know? Like I tried Wasteland 3 the other day. I got no interest in Wasteland. I'm not a PC gamer like that. I don't have the nostalgia for those type of games. And I played it and I was like, oh, okay. I don't think I'm gonna play this anymore. I got waxed on the second encounter. The tank turned around and shot big old holes through me. I was like, oh, well, that's not how you do that. I was like, maybe I'll go back. I don't know. Legend says, Gears, Forza Horizon, and other stuff. Go ahead. I'll look up how much games cost. I don't know how to rate the price on other stuff. Well, I mean, my point is that it's not about. I mean, you can look at the AAAs only, but it's about all the games. Yeah, even the older games, like they're putting all the old Bethesda stuff back on Game Pass and stuff I haven't played before. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll play that, or I can go back and play the original Fable remastered or whatever it's called. I was like, oh, how much would that cost if I bought it? Maybe like $20 or something, or $10. Who knows? Legend says you can get all those games for under $30 right now. Yeah, but I played them when they came out. That's the whole point. I didn't play them. I'm not going to play them now. I played them when they released full price. You know, release price we're talking about. And that's the whole point of Game Pass. Day and date release on Game Pass. You can't say, oh, it's $30 now. That's not how that works. What is this? I'm not gonna do that on. I have to talk to him later. La. All right, back to the list. Fable, Fable. I'm very curious about Fable because Playground Games is making Fable. Playground Games has made my favorite games of this generation, which are the Forza Horizon games. I have very high faith and hope for Playground Games as a team, as a development team, and Fable. And they're both British. It's a perfect fit. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm 100% guarantee that Fable by Playground Games will be better than the Peter Molyneux Fable. That's my guarantee. That's my guarantee to you. Legend says, Bonds. Dad cooked again. Oxtails with heavy gravy, brown rice, coleslaw, fried seasoned yellow plantain with option of mac and cheese instead of the rice. How you get... Come on, son. I'm speechless when you have options. You get options. It's like, nah, eat this, bloom, throw the plate. Come on, son, you are so spoiled. he got a super chevron chef dad making these delicious meals. But thank you, I appreciate you giving me I'm salivating. Thank you. But Legend says, but those are the games that you're calling out as new hot games that you can get on Game Pass. How is that a value if the new hot games are 15 years? All right, fine. Let's look up a Game Pass. Let's look up Game Pass. Where's my Game Pass button? I don't even know where it is. Game Pass. There it is. Xbox. Let's see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's go to Xbox. That's where we going right now. To Xbox. That is your ASMR. Oh, Forza Motorsport 7. I don't care. I didn't even download that. I was like, I don't care. Oh, let's see. A lot of indie stuff. What's this? Hispanic Heritage. Overcooked Descenders. Man, this is slow. Flight Simulator, I told you. Alright, let's see what we got here. Halo 3. Oh, that's in Master Chief Collection. That's alright. Most popular. Let's see here. Shocktober. Plague. Yo, that's the game I'm talking about. Plague A Tale of Innocence. Man, that's a good ass game. But there's a problem with like the facial animations and the characters themselves. But if they had that perfect like Last of Us 2 level like animations and stuff, that game would be better than Last of Us 2. Period. Such a good game. But like I said, that's the shortcoming. But like the environments and all that stuff look real good. I'm like, damn, man. They use the Megascan texture stuff. That's the stuff. Leaving soon. Oh, where's the new? They don't have the new stuff. I thought they usually have the new. Oh, this is just this isn't Game Pass. Is this? Yeah, this is Game Pass. That's all games. Where's the new games? Oh yeah, recently added right here. Duh, right in front of my face. Can I? Oh, that's it. Okay, whatever. Yeah, not a lot of like first party bangers. How's that? Oh, that's PC. I missed. How's that Halloween? No Man's Sky is Halloween. Really? Okay. Mutant. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, Xbox has been on a slump. They were trying to get their hardware in order, basically, and they did that. And so now they bought all these studios. They bought Bethesda. So now the games are gonna come. So it's just a matter of like when in 2013, Sony had a couple of games, but the jump off was when 2016, 2017. When all the other stuff come out. So it's the same thing. So in 2 years from now, we're gonna see some bangers coming out of Microsoft, and it's gonna actually be kind of a reverse because Sony is blowing their load next year with God of War and Horizon. I think. I don't know if that's actually coming out next year, but we'll see. But I think my boy got a new phone, so he's not. Okay. All right, so Fable, looking forward to it, but they ain't showing the gameplay yet, so whatever. Oops. Bond says he was a chef for 28 years, mom waitress for 8. Oh, so between the two of them, the kids are spoiled. Both the kids are spoiled. Wow. So it's like he cooks it and then she comes out and serves it. That's funny. Legend says Plague's Tale is $18.99. Oh, Plague's Tale is $18.99 and it's also on PlayStation. Yeah, I know. There's cross-platform stuff. But the difference is that it's on Game Pass. And if you're in Game Pass, you just play it. You don't have to buy it. But you have to buy it on PlayStation because I mean, maybe it's on PlayStation Now, PS Now, but you have to pay for that too, just like Game Pass or whatever. Bond says, still on the side of gaming. Laptop PC. Okay. True. Ain't nothing wrong with being a PC gamer. I'm not one of those people. Legend says, you just said Xbox will come out with some good games in 2 years. That's $360 worth of Game Pass. Like I said, if you play 3 AAA games a year, or the equivalent of $180 of games a year, what's the difference? That's the thing. If I don't play nothing, that's like if I pay for a gym membership and never go to the gym, right? Then it's like, yeah, I'm wasting my money. But if I go to the gym every day for 4 hours a day, I'm taking advantage. You know what I mean? So it's up to me to play the games. And I don't feel bad about spending $100. Well, I'm not going to do that until 2022. So by the time 2022 comes around, Halo Infinite's going to be out. That's more money I'm making. So if I add up the money that I'm actually saving towards credit, towards what I have to pay in the future, I'm still ahead of the game. Like if I add up all, I play this game. Let's say I play $500 worth of games before I have to re-up my, whatchamacallit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's not like, oh, it doesn't count because it's paid for. Like, no. These are games I'm playing I would otherwise have to pay for. And so I play Call of Duty and Overwatch. These games aren't on Game Pass. That's true. But you know what is on Game Pass? Destiny 2 and all of the expansions. I haven't downloaded it yet, though. I'm like, oh, yeah, they made a deal with Bungie for that stuff. Cool. And A new thing, Xbox and Sega made a deal. I don't know what it's for. Maybe it's for Sonic Adventure 3 or something. I was like, uh-oh, what's going on? So there's some stuff happening, man. And the cool thing about it is that Microsoft is like the quote unquote good guys right now because they're doing all the right moves or whatever. And once again, the argument on the other side is you ain't got no games, blah blah blah, which is, I mean, maybe true at this moment right now, but it's coming. It'll be the day when all these games will be ready and released, and then you can't say you ain't got no games. You could say ain't got no games I want to play. Of course, it's just subject. Okay, sure, don't play them, but they're good games, and I'm gonna play them because I like. I mean, there's some people out there that are playing the hell out of Sea of Thieves. I'm not one of them. I'm like, I try a couple once in a while. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. Still got the best water in any game. Best water is on Xbox. I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but that's some damn good water on Sea of Thieves. I was like, damn, man, this is some good ass water. Destiny 2 is 15 years old. Is 15 years old like your go-to, your default, making it feel old type of thing? Bond says, shelling out for ongoing borrowing rights for digital content. Oh, come on. Listen, I was of the ilk of, hey, I'm a collector. I like to have my games and put them on the shelf and display them. And then I realized all of my games are in a cabinet in my garage. They're not displayed anywhere. And I'm like, I mean, maybe one day I'll put them out somewhere, maybe. But yeah, no. I have nostalgia for a few games, and those are the games I will collect. But I'm not getting everything. I'm not going to. And besides digital is more convenient. If you got to put it in a disc, get up, put it in a disc all the time. That sucks. It sucks. I'd rather have digital because I can be like, bloop, bloop. I can quick resume on digital. I can't quick resume if I have all discs. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't work that way. You can't quick resume if you got all physical media. So, Arioka, what's up? How are you? Hi there. She says. Hi there. I was listening while playing a game. Another important difference is that Xbox Live Gold gives you 2 games, Xbox 360 or OG Xbox, a month that stays permanently on your account. That's true. PS Plus, if your subscription ends, all your games are gone. I totally forgot about that. What you got to say about that, legend? PlayStation don't love you. If you end your sub, your games is gone. I'm telling you, the more that you kind of dig into how Sony is doing their businesses and how they treating their customers, the more that I don't think they are for the gamer, as they say. Legend says, I'm cool with that. Bond says, to an extent, however, the content is locked to the consoles. Oh, it's not. It's locked to your account. That's what Bond says. Microsoft doesn't lock content to consoles. It locks it to your Xbox Live account. So wherever your account is, whatever you got on there, that's what it is. Because I got an Xbox in here, I got an Xbox in the house, I got the X in the house, I got the OG here, and I was playing other stuff here. I had to download it because it wasn't on this console, but yeah, works. And all my games are there, so it was pretty dope. Bonds also says, then there is the actual lifespan of said console, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. Yeah. I mean, Nintendo's worse about that stuff, locking stuff to consoles. That's so dumb. I'm like, no. If Microsoft did that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna be a PC gamer. I forget all this nonsense. Anyway, back to the list. Avowed, which is from Obsidian, which has got me very interested. I'm interested because I believe this. I said this before. I believe this. I believe Obsidian makes better games than Bethesda. Even though Bethesda was the first. They were the first with Morrowind, actually, and then Fallout 3. And, I jumped in on Oblivion. So that was my first taste of Bethesda, Elder Scrolls. But Obsidian, man, the Outer Worlds is such a good game. It's such a good game. And you know what? The music on the Outer Worlds is so good too, because like just the title, not even like all the music, just the title music when the ship is kind of floating. It's like, I was like, I sat there for like 6 minutes. I think it's a 4-minute song. I listened to it and it's good all the way through. I was like, yo, how is this? This is good. So yeah. Yeah, so Avowed, I'm interested. I mean, once again, no gameplay, so we'll see. Bond says, how many years will MS allow the content to be bought forward to future consoles? I don't know. I mean, if they're doing it the way they're doing it, then it'll be until they stop making consoles. But I think it'll kind of tie into Game Pass. So I think Game Pass will be everything. Game Pass will be like Steam, basically, where you pay for Game Pass and then you have access to all these games. So also your actual library. So if it's digital, I would say they might include that too. Say, oh, your digital games that you bought, they're here. But yeah, I mean that's backwards compatibility. That's what it really comes down to. And as we have seen, Sony's not really down for backwards compatibility. They have been in the past, PS2, PS3, but not with PS4, not with PS5, man. Except for PS4 stuff, but that's all they care about. It's like, oh, we got all these people on PS4, let's do that. But nobody cares about them old ass games. Jim Ryan, nobody wants to play that ugly ass old ass shit. He didn't say that. I was paraphrasing, but Arioka says Nintendo finally changed with the Switch and content is no longer attached to the console. Okay. The only bad thing about Game Pass is when good games go away, like Red Dead 2. Yeah, but I mean the first party stuff never goes away. It's always there, so that's a good thing. Legend says, enough of all this PlayStation fanboy chatter. Why did Xbox buy Bethesda, which is on its way out, when they already had Obsidian, which is the bomb? I don't get it. And Bond says, yeah, Nintendo did change the policy. It was my Nintendo account sat just poking about. So the Bethesda thing is, I think it's when you think about what Microsoft is doing as opposed to Sony, but what Microsoft is doing, what moves they're making, they're not just making moves to react or to combat or to be competitive with Sony. They're looking at Stadia. They're looking at Luna, right? Is that Amazon's? They're looking at everybody out there. And say if they didn't buy Bethesda, right? Stadia, Google could have went up and said, yo, we're going to buy Bethesda. If Google bought Bethesda, no, Sony wouldn't get no Bethesda games. Microsoft wouldn't get, Nintendo wouldn't get no Bethesda. We would get no Bethesda games. You know what I'm saying? So in that respect, I'm glad Microsoft bought them, because that way, at least we still gonna get them on PC and a console, maybe the Switch, maybe. But if Stadia or Amazon would have bought it, man, that's it. That's unless you want to go Stadia, get a Stadia, and I don't want to do that. Nope. So that's why they bought them, because it was getting kind of crazy. It was like, all these other people are coming up and they need stuff. So, and they had a close working relationship. So, as I said, but it's like the Bethesda thing is living in a world where Fallout 76 didn't come out. What the hell? That game is yes, I agree. Fallout 76 is hot garbage in a dumpster fire. But we can't all say, oh, Fallout 76 is garbage. Therefore, everything Bethesda does from the future and has done forever and ever in the history of the world has been hot garbage in a dumpster fire. That's not true. They made a bad game. It's a bad game. Not all the games are bad. Skyrim is pretty dope, especially on PC. So I don't hold one bad game against Bethesda. Plus, it's not really just about Bethesda. It's about everything under ZeniMax. So it's not just Elder Scrolls. It's not just Fallout. We have all of id. We have id Tech and the publishing arm of ZeniMax. So they didn't just buy studios and IPs. They bought the publishing arm of those studios and IPs. So they can still publish under ZeniMax. You know, they bought everything. That's different from Sony just buying Insomniac, which is a studio full of devs. Sony still has to publish that. Now, ZeniMax, owned by Microsoft, you know, they're the bottom. I mean, that's where the buck stops. But if Microsoft doesn't touch them, as far as, you know, okay, you guys had a plan, go ahead. You know, I mean, we'll look at it, and if you need more money, we'll give it to you, whatever. But, you know, because we got all the money in the world. But, you know, so it was, I don't think it was a bad move on Bethesda's side or ZeniMax side, because they can get more money for whatever I don't know if they needed more money, but they can get more money. And it doesn't change anything about how they make games. And that's the thing. They've always, what was the last indie game that came out of ZeniMax Publishing? Bethesda, you know, id, and all the other studios, the 8 studios under them. Legend says you're banking on Skyrim, but Skyrim ain't even of this generation. No, I say Skyrim because it's still popular. People are still playing it, and the mod community in Skyrim has changed Skyrim into a game that is 1,000 times better than what it was when it launched. That's why. Arioko says, knowing Bethesda, they'll probably realize another Skyrim remaster on next gen, finally running at 60 frames on console. That's true. 60 frames would be dope. Before Elder Scrolls 6. A true remake? A remaster? If they do a remake to get their feet wet, maybe. But a remaster makes sense, though. That'd be, I think that'd be smarter. Bond says, I see the entire reason Ensemble Studios is no more. Ensemble. Wait, who is... I can't remember who Ensemble was. Legend says... release. Yeah. But Legend says, but you have to think how much money they paid. They paid way too much money for that. They could have waited a month and picked them up for cheap after they realized they were on a downturn. No, they paid about 3 times what they were worth, I think. I think that's how that works. In order to kind of secure the deal and to... If they would have said, oh, you're worth this, and then Stadia comes... They didn't want a bidding war. Basically, they didn't want to say, okay, we're gonna pay $2 billion for you, and then Stadia comes $3 billion, and then Microsoft $4 billion. You know, they didn't want that. So they said, we're gonna pay this much for you, and they come about these numbers. I mean, they paid 2.4 or 5 billion for Minecraft, one game and one studio. For one game, one studio, a third of what they paid for 8 studios and a publishing arm. Think about that. So if they can get a percentage of what they got from Minecraft with Bethesda, as far as spread out with 8 studios and a publishing arm, 5 billion is nothing. It's nothing. It's actually less. Because it's 8 studios. At 7.5, it's less than $1 billion per studio. They pay 2.5 for one studio and one game. So when you look at the math, it's like, oh, actually, And Bethesda, they have that. They have Elder Scrolls Online. They have what was the other one? Fallout 76 is supposed to be like an Elder Scrolls Online, but that's hot garbage. So, but I heard they actually fixed it up a little bit. So who knows? Arioko says, I hope they don't waste time doing a true remake. I'd much rather spend time and money on a true sequel. I agree. I want Elder Scrolls 6. I don't want a remake. I was just kind of pondering it, but I agree. A remaster, upscaled, with more better textures and stuff. That'd be dope. And higher frame rate. Yeah, I agree. And ray tracing. Imagine Elder Scrolls with ray tracing. I think they did a patch for PC with that already, but I'm not sure. Legend says, what if they decide not to buy Bethesda and bought DC instead? Better deal. What do you think? Bond says, I want to see the reason why that studio is no more. Oh, Ensemble? Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look into it. As far as DC being a better deal than ZeniMax, I don't know if that's true. Because the whole thing about DC, it's not DC, it's Warner Brothers, is that if they bought Warner Brothers, the studios, they don't own the IPs, and that's the problem. And that's why doing something like that, it would be way cheaper, first of all, because they don't own the IPs. They can't buy Batman, you know what I'm saying? But they bought Elder Scrolls. They bought Fallout, even though Fallout is technically, I actually don't know who owns Fallout, the rights. I don't know. Maybe Bethesda did acquire the rights, but who knows? But the point is, the problem with the Warner acquisition would be that the DC, they would still have to make the deals with DC in order to make a Batman game or whatever other, Superman, all that, Justice League. So they can do that right now. They can say, "Oh, we have a studio. We want to make a Superman game." Microsoft can say, "We want to make a Superman game. DC, what's up?" It's like, all right, give us money. It's like, all right, here you go. So they buy the license to Superman or whatever, and they make a game. They don't have to buy Warner Brothers in order to make a game, because it's only for that. It would be only to acquire the studios themselves, because the IPs don't. And all the IPs, like what I'm trying to think. There's other games that they make that aren't DC, but I can't think of them right now. But Rocksteady is like their most I think valuable. What was the other one they made? But that's Lord of the Rings. Is that Warner Brothers? It is, right? Harry Potter. But who's making that? Is it Warner Brothers? I mean, Warner Brothers owns that movies. See, I don't know. But I don't. I think Bethesda's ZeniMax is definitely a better buy. Arioga says, to put in perspective how much money Microsoft has, Microsoft paid $7.5 billion to acquire ZeniMax. Disney bought LucasArts for $2.2 billion in 2012. Actually, they paid Lucas I believe it was $4 billion. I think 2.2 was in cash, and then the rest was in like stocks or something. So it's kind of half and half. To put it in a greater perspective, Microsoft paid cash for that. ZeniMax acquire ZeniMax. All cash. $7.5 billion. As far as I know, they had 150 or 110 or 150 billion dollars in their pockets. Cash on hand to buy stuff. That's what Microsoft has. I mean, minus the 7.5, but 7.5. I mean, come on, son. Is it 150 or was it 15 billion? I think it was 150. No, it had to be 15. I don't remember now. I think I'm inflating. It might be 15. Anyway, they had a lot of money. Legend says, I could be wrong, but I think Warner Brothers owns Batman, everything that goes with it. Yes, Warner Brothers owns DC, but the selling would be of the Warner Brothers Interactive Studios, whatever it's called, their video game stuff. So they would probably have to change the name, and they wouldn't be able to just make those games because, like you said, Warner Brothers owns the IPs of Batman and all that stuff. So it wouldn't have been a good buy. And Legend says, I bring up that analogy because Disney bought Marvel for less. Yeah, they did. But Disney was smart because Disney bought Marvel. They bought all their IPs. So Microsoft would have to buy they would have to buy Warner Brothers, all the IPs. So all the DC stuff, whatever else is in Warner Brothers, freaking Harry Potter and whatever else, all the movie IPs. That's what Microsoft would have to buy in order for it to make sense. And then we get a couple of studios out of it too. But I think the ZeniMax deal is definitely a better deal. That way they're not beholden to, we got to make Warner Brothers because we paid all this money for Warner Brothers and we got to make all these IPs. It's not, especially Harry Potter now is not in the best place because J.K. Rowling is seen as a crazy person. I bring that up. Oh yeah. Arielka says yes. That's what I meant in cash. Right. Okay. Arielka, and that's peanuts money for Microsoft. Legend says, when we're talking about $7 billion, how much more is Warner Brothers? Probably not that much more, but I'm way out of my lane. I don't know. I think 7.5 billion for all of Warner Brothers IPs and all. That includes DC and whatever else. 7.5 sounds right, right? Like you said, Disney bought Marvel for 4. Was it 4? It's similar to Lucasfilm, or was it 2? I don't remember how much it was, but back to the list. As Dusk Falls, I don't want to play that game. I'm not gonna play that game. It's a game that is it's like it's pictures that are painted over, and it's like all still, and maybe it's a good story, but I don't care. Everwild, I'm in like Flynn. Is that how it says? I'm in it. Everwild, that's Rare's new joint. Yo, that trailer got me in even more, because the music is like, oh shoot, this is like a really good song, and then they're like, and then they're dancing around a tree, and then they're doing all the with the incense, with the and they're healing the little baby. Was it a bloom deer? I forgot what they call them. They have actual name for the actual little deer creature that was in that trailer. Everwild. I hope it's good. I hope they don't pull a Sea of Thieves on me and make it like Sea of Thieves, but I don't think it will be. But yes, I want that game. I want building in it too. Dang it, give us building. Stalker 2. Oh, that's a exclusive? I didn't know that. It might be. Well, it might be a console exclusive. It looked good, but I've never played Stalker, so I can't say. Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. I never played that either. And the medium Bloober Team. We'll see. Ariaka says Disney made the purchase for 4.4 billion. Oh, true. I knew it was 4 or something. All right, so let's see. Xbox. I suck at typing. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Xbox Wire. Wire Fire. Power you. Have you seen this trailer? Yo, I like it. I ain't gonna lie. If you compare the Sony trailer, which was, it was like, okay. This was way better. This is a way better trailer. I'm sorry. This right here. Is it gonna play? I'll let it buffer. This right here, it was not gonna have sound, but it's gonna play. This right here. It's in 4K. I don't even have a 4K screen. I don't need to be in 4K. Whatever. Just play. Look at those graphics. Oh, how did they do that? No, I thought that was that. That is that dude, right? That's from he was in Black Panther. Is that him, or is this I'm just being racist and he looks like him? No, that's him, right? It looks like him. It does look like him. I don't know if it's him, but it does look like him. He was in whatchamacallit? That Jordan Peele movie. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. He just got different hair. I was like, I never saw him with a little afro. That's CG dude right there. That's a CG dude right there. That's real. No, is it? Yeah. That's, is that a CG? Yeah, it's probably CG too. Power your dreams. Look at that crazy ass commercial. Whoa. That's the one I'm going to get the white one. I'm going to get the little baby console. I'm going to get the, look at that. Look at them graphics. Yo, whoever's doing these damn trailers, man, they good. They need to hire them. Are they Blur? Buy Blur. Microsoft, buy Blur. It's like they have so much money. It's like, oh, they just buy Blur. Okay. Yakuza is going to be a launch title, which is, I mean, it's an old PlayStation 4 game, but still. Try to see. I guess I have to search. I saw that. I was like, oh, that looks cool. Then I looked at the graphics. I was like, nah, son, I'm good. Saints Row 4. Who wants to play that? Black Desert, I think I downloaded once and I loaded up once and I built a character and I ran around for like 10 minutes. I was like, I don't care no more, and I deleted it. Deleted. All right, so let's see if we can search for Series X Games. Embrace the games optimized. Let's see. Games optimized for the Series X. I'm getting the Series S because it's cheap, and I have a feeling that there's going to be a mid-generation console re-up for both of these consoles, probably in about 3 years, and I think I'll be good for until then. Do they have a list? There we go. Alright, so these are games that are optimized, but they're not next-gen only. So, Assassin's Creed, Borderlands 3, Bright Memory Infinite, I forgot about that one. Call of the Sea, that's another one. Chivalry 2? Nah. Chorus, I'm interested in that. That looks dope. Crossfire X? We'll see what the single player is like. Cyberpunk, that's my jam, boy. Cyberpunk. Man, if they made a deal and Cyberpunk was in Game Pass, I'm waiting for the mid-generation this time. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, pay attention to what AMD is doing as far as their graphics cards and their CPUs. That's going to determine when these new consoles are coming out, when the refresh is coming out, especially on Sony's side, because Sony's console is so anemic, and they're trying to push it as hard as they can. I give them props for doing it, but the Xbox Series X is so much more powerful. They don't even have to break a sweat. And that leads me to the story that there was an unconfirmed rumor that the PlayStation 5 actually runs hotter than the Xbox. Uh-oh. PlayStation 5 is running hotter than the Xbox Series X. Of course, it's unconfirmed, but it makes sense, right? Because you see how big that damn heatsink is? Come on, son. You can't. No, I'm sorry. That heatsink is like bigger than a 3090. So big. I was like, yo, really? Okay. And then people are like, oh, we don't need a heatsink for the SSD that you put in. I'm like, all right, you don't put a heatsink in and see what happens when your shit's blowing up, melting. All right, so we got numbers here. PlayStation 5 runs hotter than... Let me just find this. Nope. Let me find this real quick. So what is that? Let's see where it should be here towards the top since it was today. Here we go. Never heard, never saw this before. PlayStation 5 runs hotter than the Xbox Series X with the PS5 peaking at 65 degrees Celsius, 149 degrees Fahrenheit, according to an unconfirmed report. Estimated and peak performance for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S have been posted on Twitter alleged that Sony's next-gen console will be the hottest device out of the three. According to the source, the PS5 even reached a peak temperature of 65 degrees Celsius. All right, so blah, 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 blah. Appropriately, the Xbox Series S less powerful. Of the three, the SoC die size is measured at 197.04. Wow, that's like super small. Because the die size on the X is like 360. Something. I think it's 360. The cooling fan is 120 by 14. And the supposed temperature estimated 47 degrees Celsius. And peak at 58. If it peaks at 58, yeah, it'd definitely be quieter than the PlayStation. The same source continues to state that the Xbox Series X, with its large 360.45 millimeter SoC, SoC, A capable 130 millimeter by 25 millimeter fan runs at an estimate of 52 degrees Celsius and peaks at 62 degrees Celsius. So 3 degrees hotter on a PlayStation side. But that peak temperature is currently very warm, but modern SoCs are designed to tolerate high thermal development that goes beyond that figure. It might not be wise to place a goldfish bone. Stupid. Let's see. Contrary to various earlier comments that the Xbox Series X, it appears that in this case at least, that the PS5 is the hottest of them all, with its smaller SoC at 308. Wait, what? It has a smaller SoC and is hotter? Oh, because they're overclocking. Hey, see? And 120 millimeter by 45 millimeter dual-sided. It's not a dual-sided fan. It's a blower. God dang. Man, what's... It's a blower fan, to be specific. It's like, if you guys have central AC, there's a blower in your AC. That's what the PlayStation 5 is rocking. And those are what are in laptops. That's what's in the PlayStation 4. That's what's in the Xbox One X. That's what's in the regular PlayStation 4. That's why the PlayStation 4 is so loud, because it's a blower. It has more surface area to move air. It has more fins, if you will. And it's going to make it louder. And that's what's going to happen with the PlayStation 5 too. People think because it's moving slower, it's a bigger fan. Yeah, it moves more air, but if it ramps up, you're going to hear it. I have too many games. I still want to play this gen, says Arioka. The purported figures for the PlayStation 5 start with the estimated temperature of 55 degrees Celsius. So it starts at a higher temperature than the X and is less powerful. Come on, son. This makes no sense. Does this make sense to you? It's less powerful and hotter. More powerful, cooler. I'm going to go for this one because more efficient. I don't know. That can apparently reach a peak of a scalding 65 degrees Celsius. That's funny. Without a decent cooling solution in place, this would have been a great concern for future next-gen console owners. But the recent PS5 teardown has shown how Sony has paid great attention to dealing with potential thermal issues. Have y'all seen how big half of the PlayStation 5 is cooling? It is so ridiculous how giant the fan is, even though it's a smaller diameter, but it's freaking 45 millimeters. He pulled that fan out. I was like, oh, that fan is like the thickness of the inner black part of the whole system. I'm like, dang. It's ridiculous. Chances are both the PS5 and Xbox Series X will run almost as hot as each other, but as long as the consoles are in a well-ventilated area, their memories are the excuse me. Red Ring of Death and PS3 Yellow Light of Death due to overheating can be left to fade away. It's not a double side. It's a blower. It just sucks it in. Both sides. That's what blowers do. I guess. I mean, they're not exactly wrong, but just call it what it is. They're making it sound like it's something special. It's like it's a double-sided fan. I was like, ooh. Like, no, it's just a blower. That's how they work. But anyway. I saw that and I was like, whoa. Back to the list. Back to the list. Cyberpunk. Oh my God, Cyberpunk. Destiny 2? Dirt 5? Might play it. Everwild. Far Cry 6? No care. FIFA? No. Forza Horizon 4? I'll go back and play that. Forza Motorsport. My thing is, I don't know if they're dropping the numbers. Maybe they are. Whatever. Gears 5. Well, if I'm getting the Series S, it won't be 4K, but it'll be 100 and... Did they say 120 frames on Gears? I think they did. Well, they said they had at least 100 on just playing it. So I'll definitely play it for the frames. I don't know. Halo Infinite, definitely. I hope they... I have kind of faith that they'll make it right. I think they'll be all right. Because, I mean, the showing was so bad that it's like, yeah, anything they do that makes it look better will be a super duper plus. Hitman 3, don't care. Madden 21, don't care. Marvel's Avengers, don't care. Here's a funny thing. there's a big deal about Sony getting Spider-Man exclusive for the Avengers, right? That was a big deal. It's kind of messed up, right? Nobody cares about Avengers anymore. Everybody's fall off of Avengers. They're like, as the Square, whoever published it, they're like, oh my gosh, they're scrambling to keep people playing it. Nobody's playing it anymore because the game is hot garbage and whack and nobody plays it. So I'm like, wait, Spider-Man's supposed to come out in the spring or something for the event? That game ain't gonna last that long. It's so hilarious. Ryoka says, did you see the Digital Foundry video showing how AC Unity runs on a locked 60 frames on Series X? Yes, I did see that. That's super interesting because AC Unity is like the game that cripples and destroys consoles. Now, they were specific in that they were using the unpatched disc version. And I would say that they were saying, oh, you can only use the disc version. I'm like, that's not true if you have the unpatched version, because the game doesn't play off of the disc. It downloads to your console, and then you play the game off your hard drive. So they were not correct in what they said, because you can take that same game and transfer it to a hard drive. Like if you download that game on a external hard drive, a little whatever that you plug in, you take it off, you throw it in the Series X, just play it and don't update it, and then it's the same. So they were giving a little bit of false information on there, as far as I understand it. Just don't update it, but whatever. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, that was a good game. I'm not gonna play it again. I mean, I'll check it out to see 120 frames, but I'm not gonna play it. Outriders, kind of interested. I'm not too sure about that. It might be okay. Who knows? Ariaka says, hopefully Microsoft will update it to run at 60 frames once you're running it on Series X. That is a Ubisoft. Yeah, Ubisoft, exactly. Ubisoft would have to update it, not Microsoft. But, yeah, that would be cool. I don't think they'll do that, though. They have too much stuff to do. Resident Evil Village, not into Resident Evil that much. Resident Evil 7 is on Game Pass right now, and I'm like, nope. Scarlet Nexus, I'm kind of interested in. It looks interesting. Scorn, I'm interested in. Not looking forward to playing it, but I am interested. It's kind of a morbid curiosity as far as that goes. Because I've seen the PC gameplay, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's because it's the first-person shooter, just with Giger stuff, and it's a little disturbing, but still interesting. Second Extinction, I'm kind of interested because shooting dinosaurs in the faces kind of looked dope. I was like, oh, all right. I mean, just the shooting the dinosaurs part, I was like, oh, okay. But if there's like a nice long story with kind of characters and stuff, that'd be dope. The Ascent, I'll check out. That's not usually my bag, but I'll check it out. It looked interesting. I like cyberpunk stuff. So, I think a spider egg hatched in my studio. Or it's just a little fly or something. I don't know. Anyway, the Medium, I'll check it out. I mean, I'm like, oh man, that was the best game. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll check it out. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, I'll check it out. Watchdog Legions, whatever. WRC 9. Nah, I got Forza for that. Forza Horizon 5 whenever that comes out, but I'll play 4. Yakuza Like a Dragon, I'll definitely check that out. Call it a C. But yeah, that's kind of like launch window, I think, right? Is there anything past? Yeah, that's all kind of launch. That's launch titles, launch window. I mean, a lot of games are out already. So I guess Scarlet Nexus is a launch game. Scorn is a launch game. Second Extinction is a launch game. There's a lot, actually. Vampire. I thought that was delayed though. Vampire Masquerade. I think that was delayed. Ascent, I think, is launch. Medium is launch. So just a handful, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, Halo is delayed. Yeah. 5. Yeah, there's some other stuff that's further out. So yeah, those might not come out either. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that for now. I think that this gen, this next gen coming up, will be better than this current gen because Sony's gonna have their games, so they'll be good. But the difference is Microsoft is actually gonna be competing. That they're gonna be like, yo, we got games now. We got all these studios. They got 23 studios making games, and each studio has multiple studios. So I mean, if you want to be real, you could say each studio has like really 2 studios. They're making a AAA and maybe a smaller game. That's 46 potential games coming out this gen, at least. Or I would say at most. But that's just first party. That does not include third party. So that's cool. I mean, that alone makes this gen more interesting because it's like, yo, we're actually gonna get more games. Overall, more games. If you're a person who have all the consoles, you got the PlayStation, you got Xbox, you got the Switch Pro, whatever the new one's gonna come out. If you got everything, you gonna have more games this gen coming up, and that's good. That's good for the industry. That's good for us, so that we don't go crazy in the end times. You know what I'm saying? It's good. I feel better about what Microsoft is doing now than I did in 2013. It's a CF. It's a cluster F. And now Sony's kind of slipping a little bit. I mean, they're not totally lost, but they're slipping a little bit of, they're getting a little bit cocky. Bond says, okay, I'm back, was on the phone with a friend about photography. Nice. Shoot it with the photo. But yes, so the test or the what's gonna be not the deciding factor, but one of the things that will affect this generation is how God of War Ragnarok, and how Horizon Forbidden West come out, because they are cross-gen. So they are going to be held back design-wise by the PlayStation 4. And that's bad. When you're talking about, next gen, blah, blah, blah. That was the one strong suit that the PlayStation 5 had. That's the narrative behind what Sony was doing. That was the one thing. And when that went and crashed, that all crashed it down. Crash. They lost the next gen advantage. Now they have exclusives. That's all they have, exclusives, right? And if that's your flavor. Is that your flavor? All right, that's cool. But multiplats, they don't play best on PlayStation 5. So why? Why would you buy that? Don't buy that. Don't buy that, no. It's they're in a spot, and that's where I'm like, yo, if I were a PlayStation fan, I would not buy a PlayStation 5, because all those games are going to be cross, right? They don't really have anything next gen for real. Demon Souls don't count. That's an old ass game. So wait for the next gen up. You know what I mean? That way they'll have an actual next gen console instead of some half-ass PS4 Pro. That's exactly what the PlayStation 5 is, because it's like, it was at 9.2 teraflops and then they overclocked it to make it 10.2. I'm like, and you wonder why it's running so hot. Bond says she has a Canon 7D, and I was asking about filters for it, asking if filters are worth the money and such. Amazon Prime Day is coming up. My reply, yeah, get the filter pack and Microsoft SD card combo. Micro SD card combo. Microsoft. Yeah, filters are cool. But yeah, especially if you're shooting a lot of day in the sun and stuff. You want that ND filter. Yeah, but that's pretty much all you need. Make sure you're shooting raw. Get that raw. That way you can fix it in post. Anyway, I've got nothing else, I don't think. I think I did enough tonight. unless something else comes into my brain. Let me look. Let me look at my notes real quick. I don't have any notes. I just save a lot of websites. That's my notes. There's some news about Halo Infinite, but I'm not even gonna look into that stuff because. Oh, FanFest is starting up. Registration for FanFest, Xbox FanFest, is starting up tomorrow. I think I might. It's gonna be digital this year. I think I might sign up for that because they have like deals and stuff with it. I'm like, oh, okay. Sony arrogance has lost them the next gen unless they lower. Oh, let me read that real quick. This is from a UK site too, so you know it's not is it biased? I figure all UK sites are Sony centric because they kind of won UK. Sony arrogance has lost them the next gen unless they lower PS5 prices. Readers feature. A reader argues that Sony's high price. Okay, this doesn't matter then. High prices for PlayStation 5 games will cost them the lead in next generation. We compare it to Xbox Game Pass. When compared, that's true. Did I talk about that? The $70 up jump compared to Game Pass. Yeah, that's crazy. They're trying to recoup money as much as they can because the PlayStation 5 is they're losing a lot of money on those, especially on the digital one. But that teardown was ridiculous. Let me see. Let me look at that. Let me look up that teardown. Let me find the teardown because it was bad. I'll just play it right off the PlayStation YouTube. PlayStation. Play gun. I can go full screen. Let's go full screen. Let's go full screen, baby. So, okay, we can fast forward too because the first part is like, let's look at the outside. Look how big this thing is. This is the last. Look how big. Okay, stop it. Jesus. Bridget hates it when I be like, Jesus. She hates that blasphemy stuff, right? But I don't because I'm not really talking bad about Jesus. I'm just saying Jesus. Just a word. Expression. Look how big that console is, man. Okay. Let's do this, right? There's screwdrivers there. You see the disc. Where's the disc drive? Oh, it's on the other side. You can't see it. But, like, you could look at the buttons on his shirt. You could look at his glasses. Like, I have glasses here. Glasses are relatively around the same size, right? Here's my glasses. Right? Here's my glasses. I'm looking at his glasses. And let's say they're around the same size. Not height, but width, right? Next to a PlayStation 5. I'm picturing these glasses next to a PlayStation 5, and it's huge. It's very big. It's so big. I can't, and that's what she said. I can't stress how giant this thing is. Okay, let's forward because we don't care about this. We want the let's tear it apart part. Now, a lot of ponies have been like, oh, Xbots have trouble with screws. Oh, they're tripping over just a screw. And I'm like, that's not the point. The point is, why is this so difficult? Because you got a goofy ass shaped freaking console, and the reason why it's shaped that way, they're trying to make an optical illusion. That's what they're trying to do. Because imagine if the PlayStation 5 was just a rectangle, the same innards, but just a rectangle, it would seem to be more huger. Because you see how it's kind of smaller? That's why it's black and white. If it was all black, it would look way bigger. But it doesn't look. But you notice that all these videos, white background. Not a black background, not a contrasting background to the shape of the system. Because it makes the system look bigger. Ariaka says, well, it doesn't help to put this huge console next to a tiny Japanese man. I mean, that's true. I don't know how big he is, but if you look at like the screwdrivers or if you look at his ring, like how thin is his ring? This is my ring, right? His ring is thinner, yes, but come on, son. It ain't that thin. It ain't that thin. And you have to look at the length of his ring finger, and that will kind of determine something else. If he's short or not. If his ring finger it's longer than his pointer finger, pointy finger. Look at the. All right, so I don't. All right. Well, first I didn't comment on how treacherous this looks when he's going. Watch how he bends this corner right here. I mean, you're supposed to, right? But he's like, bend it up, really bit, bend it up, and then slide it. Come on, son. That looks like it's gonna break. But I guess there's a little clip that holds it in. But anyway, go back to this part. SSD goes there. That's fine, I guess. But you got to do all that to put the SSD in. How many grandmas are gonna be able to do that? How many mommies and daddies are gonna be able to do that? Oh, he's voiding his warranty right there. So that's all you can do is put in your SSD without voiding the warranty. The cool thing about the PlayStation 5, I will say, is that the flaps come off. So mad people are gonna take the flaps off and go and get some automotive paint, spray them up, put some high gloss on them and stuff. Slap them back on, it's gonna look fly. I'll admit that. Excuse me. But look how big that fan is, son. 45 millimeters wide, 120 radius. It's a blower. That's a blower fan. Air comes in both sides. That's why it's double-sided, and it's similar to what Xbox is doing, except Xbox has a directional fan. I don't have a problem with it being big. I like big things. Come on, Legend. We're talking about the Japanese market. Japan doesn't like big things. This thing is the biggest console. And they were making a big deal about, Japan ain't got no room. They ain't got no room in their places. And about the Xbox One in 2013. This thing is bigger than the biggest console ever created. This is the biggest console. And it looks kind of treacherous when he's taking it apart. And then there's so this part, they went real quick with it. Not this. Who cares about that? Nobody cares about that. The heatsink. So there's a heatsink here, right? Right here. There's a little one here. And this is connected to copper that goes all the way around this metal shielding that connects to the RAM and all the other subsequent chips. You'll see it right here. So all of these, you see all these? These are all thermal pads. Thermopad, and then the copper. So those are, every chip on this board has freaking cooling. Now, I don't know how the word escapes me, but I don't know if that's kind of something that happens in other consoles. I've never seen that much thermal paste on like every chip. What I believe is happening is that the overclocking, the whole overclocking thing, they had to really redesign all the cooling. They couldn't just have regular okie-doke cooler. They had to cool everything because the overclocking causes heat, which heats up everything else in the system. So this is why this is so elaborate. This is why the PlayStation 5 actually costs more than what we're paying for, So this is that, blah, blah, blah. He's going to take that off. Nobody cares. That's a chip. It's a chip. 308 millimeters, I believe. I don't think. Radeon based, not Radeon 2, but Radeon 2 based. Come on, son. They playing with their words again, man. They playing with their words. Sneaky Sony. The RAM, SD controller. And did he show the liquid cooling? There's the liquid cooling. I mean the liquid metal. I don't know how that's gonna work out, man. I mean, we'll see. I've heard anecdotally people saying, it's okay, but and when it fails, I mean, I guess it might be harder to replace. Okay, this is look how ginormous. No, let's go back a little bit. We got to go back. That's way too big. That is way. That's at least twice as big as the Xbox. Well, it's twice as long, but the Xbox Series X is thicker. Dude, look how big. Let's do frame by frame. Is this working? I pressed the wrong button. Press the wrong button. Stop it. No. Frame by frame. Look at those frames. He doesn't have like stubby fingers or anything, so he might not be that small. Watch, he be like 6'5", 6'5". He's 6'5". He's our most giant. Like, you would get the biggest. Well, he's the actual designer, so I was gonna say you would probably try to get the biggest person, like Yao Ming or something. Legend says, don't you always the 360 had a giant cooler system? Yeah, the 360 was hot garbage when it comes to that. I took mine apart, and I was like, man, this thing is loud. I took it apart, I was like, oh, this is just, it's not good. It didn't overheat, but it was like, it's loud as hell. Kind of like PlayStation 4 right now. Look at how big this thing is. Look how big this thing is. This is bigger than all of the heat sinks in my PC right now combined. That's ridiculous. For a console? Come on, son. You know you messed up when you got to put a heatsink this big in your console. You know you messed up. He's like, oh, damn. Our console going to be big. It was dope when the PlayStation 4 was all small and cute. It's like, oh, it's dope and it's more powerful and it's smaller. Oh, it's the exact opposite right now. What's going on? It's almost like the Avengers. It's almost like we got jolted into an alternate timeline where Sony's doing everything wrong and Xbox is doing everything right. That's what it seems like to me. I'm like, is this really what's happening right now? Or is it, Trump's president? It's just crazy, right? Feels like Back to the Future Part 2 right now. And they say, you see this? It says, like the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, it uses a heat pipe. However, the shape and airflow have made it possible to achieve the same performance as the vapor chamber. Why didn't they just use a vapor chamber? This thing is so big. I will guarantee you this. This is what I'm guaranteeing you. The PlayStation 5 Pro, which will be probably RDNA 3 or Zen 3 or whatever they do, the next step up, will have a vapor chamber in it. There's no way they're going to put this giant. It'll have to be bigger than this because, well, actually, I don't know if they can overclock. They probably won't have to overclock it, but they'll do vapor chamber because that's what's in the Xbox Series X. They're using vapor chamber. So why wouldn't you? They're going to save money on cooling on the new system because they won't have all this bullshit to contend with. That's a power. It's a power brick. That's a weird shape, though. And it's big, too. You see how big that power brick is? It's way bigger than the Xbox one. And it's actually, there's more power coming out of that one. I think PlayStation is, I want to say 350 watts. And the Xbox is 300? Or 325 or something like that? I don't know. I don't remember. Play that. But whatever. But anyway, I'm kind of done. Arioko says, I sent my LG X360 3 times to Microsoft back when they were fixing red rings at Death for free. I never had any issues with my launch PS4. Yeah. PS4 is fine. I mean, PS4 just gets loud. It doesn't fail. They just get loud as hell. So, which is bad, but at least it doesn't fail. That was a whole issue with the Xbox. The first Xboxes, it was a solder thing, and the board was warping. And the brilliance with the new Xbox, the Xbox Series X, I would say, not the S, not too sure. I'd have to look at it again, but the X particularly, how it's constructed, is that let me find the explode. I have it on my screensavers, but actually I have them on my screensavers. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, it's not there. It's in here. Oh, I can just go here. You're going to look at all my files. Oh, no, it's over here. All right, so it's here and here and here and here. I didn't want to do that. A dummy. Move that back. All right. So the brilliance of this. See, this is the power, which is not as big as. But anyway, the brilliance of how they constructed this. So you have your heat sink. You have one metal. This is aluminum kind of bracket to hold the heat sink, and then connect that to motherboard A. Let's just say. Then you have a middle aluminum structure bracket that holds in the PCB 1. Then you have the sister board right here that goes on the other side of the perforated aluminum bracket. So there is going to be no bending of boards, and because they're screwed in 4 points, it's going to be stiff as hell. Boom! Both sides, both boards. No problem. It's metal. It's not screwed into plastic. I mean, there's metal on the PlayStation, but it's that, the flimsy like metal shielding that you get in all those systems. This is, you saw when they took this apart, this is some high heavy duty aluminum. I was like, yo, that's not bending. So boom, boom. You look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts basically. This is a cover for the whatchamacallit. Wait. No, that's the disk drive. My bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, and then brackets and a fan. Look how simple this is, right? So it's like, boom. I mean, of course, there's antenna and there's all kind of stuff, but look at this. It's simple, easy. One fan comes in, cools it off. Not all this crazy, copper going every other which way. They have it here. It's such a smartly designed system, I would say, that I saw this. I saw them take it apart. I was like, okay. They split the board. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. All right, I guess. I don't know. And then I see PlayStation, and I'm like, a PlayStation 5 teardown. I'm like, that's just like a PlayStation 3 or 4, but with a giant heatsink in it, with different chips. But it's like, it's not anything new. The only thing that they innovated in was the little cutout for the fan, but that was out of necessity so they can cool it, effectively cool it. Because if they didn't do that the way that they did it, because basically air comes in through the front and it comes into the sides, and everything's pushed out of the back. So it doesn't matter really which orientation you have the PlayStation 5, it's still going to cool the same way. The X will cool better if it's standing upright. If you sideways, I mean, it'll cool, sure, but heat rises, so it won't obstruct any of the holes. So there might be a few degrees difference, but standing up is definitely better because heat rises and all that good stuff. But this is way better design. I mean, Albert Panero bread. That's his name. Albert Pinello said it. He said it's better designed. So. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Bond says, had issue with both PS3 and Xbox, but PS3 more. PS3 Fat was best overall. Yeah, I was trying to look for like a first gen PS3 Fat. I didn't care what size hard drive, but so I could get the backwards compatibility with PS2 and stuff, but I couldn't find one. And the PS Fat that I had, the PS3 Fat I had, I gave it away. So I only have a PS1 and a PS2 now. So, and my PS1 is, I got it from a freaking Goodwill. It was hiding behind some TVs. I'm like, somebody trying to take this home, but I got it. I was like, how much is this? They're like $20. I'm like, sold. It's not a scratch, not a scuff, brand new, and it had a game in it. I forgot what the game. I think it was Gex or something. I don't remember what game it was. Was Gex on the place? I don't remember. But yeah, it was cool. Arielka says my fat Xbox One is super quiet, so I'm sure Series X will be the same. Yeah, my fat OG Xbox One down here is super quiet, and my Xbox One X is quiet too. Although I do hear the fan sometimes, But I do have it in a closed space, so it has to work harder. But I don't hear it. It's like if I go up to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I can hear it. But if where I'm sitting at, and I use headphones anyway, but even if I'm sitting back without headphones, I still can't hear it. So it's pretty dope. Ariaka says PS3 fat are very prone to failure nowadays. I had 2, and after the last one I got, the super slim is much better, smaller and quieter. Nice. But anyway, I'm gonna leave now. I appreciate you guys hanging out for the little bit of after show. I appreciate Freeman Daddy dropping in on Facebook. Appreciate everybody hanging out and stuff. I will not stream during the week usually because I'm working on the video and stuff, and I can't stream working on the video at the same time because my computer sucks. When I get a better computer and I can figure out and do stuff, then I will do that. I'll stream like probably every day because I'm just in here doing stuff on Blender and making music. So once that happens, then yeah. But until I get a better computer, I'm not gonna stream during the week. I'll only stream on Sundays for the most part. But yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. Nobody showed up on Facebook, so that's okay. I mean Facebook or YouTube. But blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Have a good week, everybody. Don't stress. Remember, sign-ups for the Xbox Game Fest starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. So that's 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to, I don't know, I guess be a part. It's all digital, so I guess they'll have like demos or free game giveaways or shirts or something. I don't know. I'm going to sign up just to see what's up. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, we talk about Xbox and PlayStation and all that stuff, but, you know, just have fun. You know, that's what I say. Have fun. And tilt the weight.